Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Instagram live chat with Adrienne Wilkinson. Hopefully, she will be here in a few minutes. There she is. Let me try and send her an invite. There we go. Hopefully, that request went through. There she is.
Hello.
Hello, Adrienne. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm very excited to talk to you. You've got some really fun things down the pipeline that I know lots of people are going to be super pumped to hear about. And I got some fun questions from my followers. I sent a prompt out in my stories a couple of days ago and got some really fun stuff to ask you. But before we get into... Oh yeah, we got some fun ones in there. Before we get into all that, let's talk about your charity events coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, like what are we raising money for this year? What kinds of new and exciting things do you have for prizes? And yeah, what's all the info there?
Yes. Okay, so this year I'm doing two events. The first event is a charity raffle. We've done that most years, and I've had some incredible things donated. Perhaps, well, okay, I'm going to give you not just one, but two opportunities to be sandwiched between Lucy and Renee.
Okay.
Yeah, very juicy. The first is that we had a really extraordinary thing donated. It was a gold ticket, row 4 to the November XenaCon. And not only is it a gold ticket, but it includes a photo op with Lucy and Renee, a duo photo op, which is unbelievably rare. They almost never have that. So you have the chance at that. And it also includes an autograph from each of them. So
that's huge.
Get in on that. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
The charity raffle is a maximum of 150 tickets. So get on in there because the odds are in your favor. Yes. Secondly, hold on. This is quite exciting. I also have a chance for you to be sandwiched between Lucy and Renee.
Yes. You can take them with you anywhere.
Exactly. Any adventure that you've always wanted, you can now create. I mean, you could do an entire, you could have your own Instagram channel dedicated to what the three of you get up to.
So, you're giving me some ideas, Adrienne.
I'm telling you. So they're mint condition. They were gifted to the charity raffle. And those are 2 out of 10 items that we have available. We have, let's see. This is also quite juicy. I don't even know if I can fit this in frame, but.
Oh, hello there.
Exactly. So we have art that was donated. We have collectibles. We have tickets, not only to the Xena convention. Sorry, loud noise. But we also have a ticket to the 2023 Xena Retreat. And for anybody that hasn't been, it's the freaking bomb. It's just the best. It's such a gorgeous experience. It's amazing community, but it's also just celebrating all things Xena Warrior Princess, plus all things just all of the friendships. And, you know, it's unlike anything I've ever been to. It's an incredibly special experience and it could be yours. There's a waiting list every year for this event because there's a very limited number of tickets because it's about the space available on the property. And you know, you could be the first one to have a ticket for next year's event. So I hope that you will check it out. The raffle is on April 24th. It will be live at this year's Xena Retreat. Anybody can participate because I will ship to anybody in the world. So if you're at the Xena Retreat, I will hand you the winning item. And if I pull your name and you're not at the retreat, the next day I will ship it to you. So anybody anywhere can be part of it. And we currently are 1/3 sold out. So even though the raffle is April 24th, I actually expect that it will sell out sooner. So if you're interested, get on in there.
And get in there. Those are some real big ticket items in there.
Oh my God, they're so juicy. And honestly, I mean, let's be really frank. It's likely that it's the last Xena convention, or certainly if they do another one, it will be 5 years down the road or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to get in on this is really pretty special. Secondly, this year, I try to do what I call the unicorn dinner, which is this amazing bit of fellowship with normally about 30 fans and about 5 people related to the show. And this year, just with COVID, it just still felt a little premature. It felt like it would
Mm-hmm.
just be a little nerve-wracking for everybody. So instead, I made a different thing available. I'm offering meet and greets with me, virtual meet and greets over Zoom, 2 full hours. Um,
Ooh.
I I know oodles of actors that work at conventions and things like that, and I have never ever heard of someone offering a full 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do it because I really think after COVID, we're all about connecting. Like, I just want to have really deep connections with people. And you can meet with me one of 2 ways. You can either meet with me as a fan and we can have drinks, or we can have a virtual dinner, or we can just hang out and have our own Q&A, ask me anything about Xena Warrior Princess or whatever. Or I also have a media consulting company. So you're a writer, or you are a up and coming screenplay creator. If anything that you want to do that's in media, I've got 25 years experience and I am happy to share. So I love amplifying new artists. I love helping them figure out how this weird business works. And, this is a way to get to work with me at a less expensive cost than you would otherwise normally get. And as always, 100% of our proceeds, minus the fees that PayPal takes, otherwise 100% of our proceeds go to support families in need. So we support families dealing with medical expenses and also those that are suffering from food insecurity. So it's people that truly can use it immediately. It's
Mm-hmm.
a great time for a great cause. And yeah, that's enough about me. It's adriennewilkinson.com/charity events. I'm so grateful that you had that posted as well.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so I hope you guys will participate because we have, I think we have 97 raffle tickets left. So that should
Get
go
on
quite
it.
quickly. And we have 20, I think 26 of the meet and greets left. So as soon as the meet and greets are purchased, we schedule them immediately. There's no waiting. And it's been so much freaking fun so far. So whoever's watching, I would love to have fun with you too. So let's make it happen.
Oh,
Now
very
let's get
cool.
down to business.
Get ready to 2 full hours of Xena Q&A.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I have to say, and this is kind of an aside, but wow, has this been fun for me, because it's not just the Xena stuff. It's that, and I'm honestly not kowtowing to people. This is just what I have found to be the truth. Xenites are freaking amazing. I mean, I have met with engineers, and I met with a potential astronaut, and I have met with
Rad.
people that I mean, it's really, I love hearing people's stories. It's really just extraordinary. And, Xenarts are some pretty amazing humans. So I love the fact that I get to, break some virtual bread with them and
Yeah.
get to know them better. So it's really fantastic.
Yeah, I myself am like pretty new to the fandom. I've only really been part of it for like the last year since I started my page, and like just
Where
getting
have
to
you
know
been?
people.
Like,
I don't know where I was. I was watching Buffy, but
look, I'm
I
not
caught
gonna.
up.
I love myself some Buffy too, but I mean, I am so glad that you saw the light and just realize
And
that
yeah,
this should
and
also
now
be
I'm
part of
singing
your
its
menu.
praises as loud as I can.
Yes.
So yes, I'm super pumped. I have my ticket for Xena Retreat for this year, and I'm like very
Nice.
excited to meet everyone and just hang out and experience all of the wonderful Xena fun that
Oh,
Penny
I
has
cannot wait.
organized.
I'm already, I mean, I mean, not that this is directly tied to Z-Nights, but I got to tell you, I'm already planning my s'mores. Like, we got to get those in
Nice, nice. I like to do a Reese's instead of a Hershey's. That's my secret there.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God.
Peanut
Oh
butter
my God.
action.
You have just changed my life. Like,
Oh yeah.
what?
We'll talk. We'll talk
What?
around the bonfire.
I don't know if you still call that a s'mores, but whatever that is, you and I are doing it.
All right, it's going
Yeah.
down. All right, so yeah, so if anyone missed the first part of the chat here, adriennewilkinson.com/charity events to jump in on that. Super limited amount of tickets left for that meet and greet with Adrienne, or also your golden ticket to the Xena convention. Really high value stuff. I know I'm buying a ticket for that because I would love to be sandwiched in between your two moms.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, so I also have the link in my bio. Give Adrienne's page a follow if you're not already following her. She's got the link on her page as well. And we'll plug that at the end too for people who stick around to the end there.
Thank
so
you.
without any further ado, are you ready for some follower questions?
Oh, bring it. I am always ready for that.
All right, juicy stuff here. First off, do you ever Google yourself or check your Instagram tags, things that you've been tagged in?
Okay, Googling yourself is what we call a terrible idea. That's not something that you want to do. I have made that mistake in the past. And the reason I say that it's a mistake is because that's when I found out all of the things I had not known that I had gotten up to in the world of fan fiction. It was very illuminating. And I mean, I'm all about broadening one's horizons, but it was unexpected what a busy bee Livia had been. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she's gotten up to some dirty deeds.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, more power to her, but it was just, I hadn't been prepared for the width and depth of Livia's experience that I had been
Pun intended?
Maybe I'm not, actually, it's pretty accurate. And every once in a while I do look at Instagram tags. It's not that I'm avoiding them. I appreciate anybody who tags me in some fun stuff, and there's some amazing fan creations out there. So I really love to see those. But admittedly, it's something I do just a couple of times a year when I'm like, okay, let's go down that rabbit hole and see what the creative minds are up to. There's always a little bit of trepidation just in case I wasn't prepared.
You never know. Yeah. You might happen upon some like horny Xena memes, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, those are no longer shocking, but yeah, that's true.
Yours truly probably makes most of those.
I hope you wear that proudly. Like,
I do. All right, next up. Which character from Xena could you see yourself being friends with in real life?
Oh, the character. Ooh. Aphrodite for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe, I mean, this would be troublesome. I would be getting into trouble, but maybe some of the Furies. I think that would be interesting too. And I mean, it's hard to say no to being friends with really any god or goddess if you're getting down to brass tacks. That feels like it probably has some benefits. I mean, some definite nerve-wracking potential cons, but also some great pros. So I think I would go with all of that. Yeah. I mean, it's harder to commit to being friends with warriors because, you know, there's just a lot of knife play, and maybe, you know, that's just something that's not maybe an everyday friend activity, but maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe.
Depending on what you're going for.
True. Absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Aphrodite's probably pretty high on my list too. She seems like a real fun time.
Oh my God.
She throws a good party, I'm sure.
Yes, it just seems like she would always have the best cocktails and like no pun intended, but also just like, you know, she'd be able to like hook you up with a good match and, you know, like just seems like good stuff. Yeah.
She's a rosé all day type of gal, I feel like.
Oh, big time.
All right, next up here. What do you miss most, if anything, about filming Xena?
Oh gosh. It's kind of, it will have to be kind of an umbrella statement that covers about 50 things, because it's really about just how fun it was to be both creatively satisfied and having this grand adventure, but also having glorious friendships, but also being in this freaking cool location. And I mean, it just goes on and on. It's a hard job to top because it just checks all of those boxes, you know, it just had all of that stuff. So, you know, but really the best part is just being part of a team that you completely trust, and you know it's going to be, even though it's hard work, you know it's going to be really fun and just incredibly yummy. And you know, just to push each other in a great way to be even better or take bigger chances, or, you know, I mean, obviously the writers are doing that for you too. You know, you're like, oh gosh, I'm doing that today. Okay. You know, but at the same time, just knowing that you've got a team that supports you. I mean, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, you really can't ask for much more than that, huh?
Yes, yes.
A team that you trust fully.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best thing ever because it makes you brave enough to do whatever they ask, you know?
Yeah, and they had some pretty big asks, I think.
That they did. That they did. Yeah, and that's the thing, because you also have essentially no what's the word? Like no warning. Like it's
Right.
just, and today, by the way, you're doing this. Yeah. So
Yeah, you've got 3 hours to learn fight choreography. Go for it.
right. Yeah. And also,
Intense.
by the way, you're going to be soaking wet, and there's also going to be fire behind you. And there's also, yeah, just it kind of goes on and on.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so trust is key in that
Yes.
scenario
Yes.
there. All right, along the same vein there, does it feel like a family reunion when you team up with other cast members at like conventions and events and things, when you all meet up again?
To a degree, although, I mean, you know, sometimes family reunions are occasionally a bit lame, and these always feel a little bit better than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my family, but you know, sometimes you're like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's this gorgeous sense of nostalgia and reminiscence, but it's also so exciting because you get to see what's happening in their lives now, and what they're doing, and what has changed, and what was maybe expected, and what was totally shocking to you about, like, wow, you're doing that now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a cool experience, but it's always it's always something that just warms my heart and brings me joy. Just anytime I get the opportunity to spend time with anyone who had that shared experience, it's just nothing but love.
Ah, wonderful. Yeah, one day I'll hopefully make my way to a con and get to experience a little bit of that
Oh,
magic.
absolutely. You know what? If you get that gold ticket, then you'll be
I'm
there.
saying, I'm putting my name in the hat. Ooh, this
Exactly.
is my year. This is
Yes,
my year.
yes, yes, yes.
All right, next up here. Did you do any of your own stunts?
I did. The actors were not allowed to do any of the flips.
Mm-hmm.
That's wire work, which is far more dangerous because first of all, it's incredibly time consuming, and there just isn't the time frame to have your regular actors do that on a show that is shooting so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, we did all of the upfront choreography. We did, I mean, essentially everything but the flips, everything but the most extraordinarily dangerous things are stuff that each of us individually did. Probably most people know this, but the way that we safely fight is that your character fights the double of the other character while they're filming you.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that I have never done, the one privilege I have never had the chance to do, was actually fight Lucy. So, you know, I fought Zoe Bell again and again and
Mm-hmm.
again, which was amazing. But yeah, we did our own stunts. But you know, we did our own fictitious stunts, you know, like all of our
Mm-hmm.
swords were plastic and stuff like that. So it was um, dangerous, but not actually dangerous.
You probably would like smart to get whapped with one of those plastic swords, I'm sure, if you had enough
Oh
pepper
yeah,
on it.
I did get some really juicy bruises. I actually, I haven't thought about this in a while, but I do remember that whenever, because I'm very pale, so bruises on me are like, not just like I'm a bruise, it's like I'm a bruise. And exactly. So my makeup artist would always take pictures of my bruises because she was like, "Oh, that's a good one. That's a, yeah,"
Nice.
so that she could
So somewhere there's
recreate
a
stuff like
photo
that.
album of
Yeah,
just all of your bruises.
exactly, exactly.
That's in next year's charity auction, huh?
Sure, absolutely. You know, it'll also have its own Instagram account, you know,
Yes,
just
perfect.
versus.
Excellent. That'll get some follows, I'm sure.
Right.
All right. What is the strangest or worst interview question you've ever been asked?
Oh
Don't
gosh.
say any of
Wait, was
mine.
it that one? No.
Yeah.
um strangest oh gosh. I mean, the worst questions are just when people either A, don't know the show, so they ask ridiculous things and you're trying to figure out how to answer because it doesn't even make sense because they haven't done their homework. Or, you know, it's always inappropriate if someone asks something that is super private because that's just ridiculous. You know, that's not what an interview is for, what acting is about. There is a fine line between what is personal and you're willing to share or what is private. So that I think is, I've had that happen a few times where you always want to be accommodating, but there's a line where you want to protect your friends and family. Yeah. And I guess yourself to a degree as well, of course. But weirdest question, this is not an interview, but this actually did happen to me at a convention where I had someone very detailed, they got very detailed into this question about what it was like to have Lucy sing to me and what it was like to be in her arm. And I was so confused about it. And then we realized that there was this disconnect happening where for a moment, this person had gotten so lost in fiction that they thought I also played the baby. And I mean, I like to think I'm a good actress, but that
would be impressive.
Stretch too far. Honestly. Exactly. I was able to make myself so small that I could just
it's all movie magic, man. Those makeup artists really
they are
nailed
good.
it.
They are good. And
very convincing
that
prosthetics.
So slimming.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What about best interview question? Have you ever been asked something that was just like, whoa, blew you away?
I guess there are some times when people get quite specific, like when people have really done their homework, and that's always quite impressive because, you know, there's the generic questions that, you know, there's like 10 generic questions for any project that you kind of know you're going to get. But every once in a while, someone will get really detailed or have seen an obscure piece of your work and you'll just think, whoa, because usually your obscure work is stuff that you love, but they were what I call heart jobs as opposed to, you know, like they're jobs that you did for the love of the creativity or the companionship with friends that you got to be collaborative with. So when someone has seen something that's a little more obscure, that always makes me really happy.
Oh, well, we have somebody who did do their homework who asked a question about, let me find that one here.
Okay.
Something about the role of a dancing popcorn. I guess they read an interview or maybe a Wikipedia page of some kind and asked for more details about the dancing popcorn role.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that I have not, wow, I haven't thought about that in a very long time. I think I was 12 or 13. You remember that song? I mean, most of us, there used to be this song that played at movie theaters called Let's All Go to the Lobby. Oh, yes. Let's all go. Yeah. So it was to encourage you to go get snacks during intermission or right before the movie. And my sister and I must have been like 12 and she was 10, maybe even younger than that. But there was a local theater show that decided to do that as a cute thing. And I was the dancing popcorn and my sister was the dancing Coca-Cola that came out as the band played that song. And I just remember that, you know, we didn't love it, but we had agreed to do it. And so I came out and I was just, you know, in my little popcorn costume, just trying to smile and do circles and not fall down. But my sister was like this. She was not happy to be a dancing Coca-Cola. And the best part is we have it on video somewhere.
Oh, so, you know, what a treat.
Exactly. Yeah. My dad could probably dig that out and, do a little bit of gentle humiliation if he wanted to.
Incredible. Sounds like your breakout role, I think.
You know, really, that was the moment when I knew I was an artist. Yeah.
Yes. I think that's what the Xena writers must have seen to like cast you as the role of the baby. Right?
I'm telling you, they saw my versatility. They understood that if I could play popcorn, I mean, really, there's nothing I couldn't do. So
exactly, yeah. A true chameleon. Incredible. I would love to see that video.
Aww.
All right. What kind of training did you do to prep for? Well, I guess Livia was probably the more active of the two
Clearly, yes.
characters. Yes. So to prep for Livia, what kind of like physical training did you have to do? Were you like hitting the weights in the gym?
Oh gosh, I would love to say that I did massive prepping and it was incredibly impressive. But the truth is, I only got the job a couple of days before we were shooting.
Hmm.
Before I left Los Angeles, I had one single 30-minute session at a dojo, and what they
Quick.
did, yeah, all that they did is teach me how to fall without getting hurt, and
Hmm.
which is pretty much the most important thing you need to know because they want to make sure that you are not getting injured. But they really helped to teach us how to fall and stop the instinct of putting your arms out, because that's how you get hurt. You know, you'll break your
Yeah.
wrist or something. So it was about, when you fall, just let your torso, your body take it, as opposed to trying to stop yourself with your hands. And then I arrived in Los Angeles. I think the flight touched down something like 5:30 in the morning. And I went through customs and got my luggage. And they then picked me up and took me to the hotel where I dropped off my luggage. And as soon as I got checked in and dropped off my luggage, they then took me immediately to work. And the first day was not filming, but the first day was stunt rehearsals and wardrobe fittings and makeup tests and,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
trying to figure out a hairstyle and, you know,
All the
just
fun
all of
stuff.
that. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then I think we must have had the table read that day or something, but it was just nonstop, hit the
Yeah.
ground
Just
running. And luckily, my dance background really helped in terms of learning choreography. But honestly, it was just, my goal was to be a sponge and just soak up all the information that they were providing, which was great because the stunt teams were incredible. And as long as I was really clear on what I needed to do and also on what I needed to not do, then
hmm.
it seemed to go okay. We just, you know, they were very supportive of making sure that I had what I needed to be able to pull it off. So, yeah, grateful
Well,
that
you
they,
were a very convincing warrior. I'll tell you
oh,
that.
thank you, thank you. Also,
Despite
I mean,
no training.
well, it took a village, but it's, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm very aware that it's not just like, oh, I was so great. It's also that the costume was amazing and the music was incredible and the surrounding stunt people were
Hmm.
incredible. And, you know, it also doesn't hurt that there's like fire behind you and like smoke and, you know, all the things that make you
Oh
look
yeah,
like a
gets you
badass.
in the
Yeah,
zone for sure. But
exactly,
you
exactly.
nailed it. Don't sell yourself short, Adrienne.
Oh, thank you.
All right, here we have just a few more left here.
Okay.
What genre of film or TV that you haven't done yet have you like always wanted to be a part of in some way or another?
Oh gosh. I mean, I'd love to do everything. There's really nothing that I wouldn't want to do. I
Mm.
did my first official horror movie last year. It came out last year called Dreamcatcher. And actually just yesterday it came out in the UK. Like, it's had a slow rollout around the world. And
Hmm.
yesterday it came out in the UK. So that was my first official horror movie. I would love to do I would love, you know what I would love to do? Like a sweeping romance. One of those
Oh
just
yeah.
like, you know, something, something like Anthony Minghella would have created years ago. Just like this big dramatic piece that stands the test of
Hmm.
time,
Hmm.
that is just swoon worthy and timeless. That's the kind of thing that I think would be, ooh, dreamy.
Oh yeah. Excellent. We would love to see you in roles like that.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, and I've got Dreamcatcher on my list for sure. I'm a big horror movie girl, so
Oh,
that's
nice.
going right on the queue.
Oh, thank you.
I'm excited for that. Um, what kind of media are you consuming right now? Like, do you have any TV or podcast or movie recommendations of stuff that you've enjoyed recently or that you're
Um,
listening to now?
Oh, I always do. I'm a big podcast listener. I'm a big media consumer just because I'm just a curious person. So I'm really into all of it. There's a Hollywood history podcast that I listen to that's called You Must Remember This Podcast.
It's a good one.
So it's a
Yeah.
good one. Um, there's if you just want something purely fun, and I have to admit, I was really late on the uptake of this one. Like, it had existed for years before I knew about it. But during COVID, I discovered My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God, I just think it's so genius because, you know, it's the worst writing you've ever heard. There's literally nothing about it that is sexy, but my God, is it hilarious.
Oh,
And
it's
it's
so
also
good.
just, it's so good. And it's just so joyous because they've been friends for so long. So to listen to them, together as they,
React.
know each other and experience it together is really just amazing. Honestly, there's just so many things. I'm a big fan of This Is Criminal, which is just juicy sort of historic crime. It's crime, but from a different perspective than you normally get. And a lot of it is historic stuff of, the first time they ever figured out how to use fingerprints and, things like that.
Yeah.
And in terms of, oh my gosh, there is so much stuff. I'm just a big fan of so many people and so many things. This is another one I was super late on the uptake to. But about a month ago, I finally discovered Pen 15,
Oh, I
which
love that
it's
show.
genius. It is so smart. For those of you who don't know, Pen 15 is these two comedians that have been best friends since they were kids. And in the year 2000, they were 13 years old in junior high, and they wrote a show about it. But the amazing part about it is that they play themselves. So these women who are like 35, the rest of the cast is all age appropriate. They're all like 12 and 13-year-olds, but they are 35 playing 13, reliving those moments of their lives. And it's hilarious and it's heartbreaking and it's cringeworthy, but it's also incredibly smart because they're, first of all, the specificity with which they have been able to remember the year 2000 is unparalleled. It's amazing. Like the first time you used AOL Messenger and like that kind of thing. But it's also this really exciting exploration because you have both the innocence of youth, but you also have the perspective of the writing being able to show the maturity, like show it from a different perspective. But it's this exploration of puberty and first love and trauma within, various kinds of trauma that, everybody experiences as a teenager. And it's just incredibly brilliant. It's just really, really smart. So I think, that's the one I'll give a shout out to.
So good. I'm exactly the same age as them. So I'm like watching that for, it's wow. It's really bringing me back.
Yes.
Yeah. Great show. I love the thing that they do when it's like whenever they go to like kiss and it's like they clearly cut to like a full grown man because there's still like stubble on his face so that that they're not kissing like a child.
Exactly.
It's very funny
for me to kiss this 12-year-old. So how do we get around this?
And it's just very obvious. It's like, oh, like clearly they're not kissing. Yeah. But anyway,
right.
Very funny, very good. Love it so much.
Yes, fantastic.
And it wrapped itself up very brilliantly, and I'm excited to see the stuff that those two women put out in the future.
They're incredibly talented and just. It's just so smart. I mean, the episode that they did about racism was like the smartest take on racism I've ever seen. And, because it was so, I don't even know the words to use, but it was easy to digest. It was so easy to understand, and it was so heartbreaking, and it was so illuminating. And that's just a great example. They're just really, really good at just all of that. They're just really fantastic at it.
Yeah, they're like really good at riding that line between like gut busting hilarity and just like really poignant moments that really hit you when it counts.
So much so. And just
very good.
I really can think of nothing else that is more cringy. You're just like, oh, but part of it is because you remember that. You're like, oh, I remember those moments really of 13.
An embarrassing time for all of us.
Yes.
All right, last two here. Next one. What is your go-to karaoke song if you are a karaoke aficionado?
Let's see. I don't do a lot of karaoke, but I certainly, I'll say this. My favorite karaoke is as bad as it can possibly be. Like I'm impressed if you can sing well, but really my favorite thing are people that cannot sing at all and commit to it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
Bless them.
eat that with a spoon. It's my favorite thing. But I'm a big believer. If you're going to karaoke, it's got to be like, there's got to be a sense of fun. So I think I would do like Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. Like, yeah,
Nice.
like that's a good
Yeah.
one. It's a good go-to. You're
Yeah.
all
Perfect.
welcome to borrow that if you need to. Men,
That's a
women,
perfect
anything.
choice.
Yeah, like it's just perfect for every human being.
Yeah, that's like a real crowd pleaser too. That's like what I try to aim for if I'm doing karaoke. Like something that's
Exactly.
the crowd is gonna enjoy.
Oh, totally.
Get in
And
on it with you.
I do have a rule. I mean, it's not very enforceable because you kind of don't know these things until they start. But like when someone chooses a 6-minute karaoke song, I kind of want to stab them with a fork.
Yeah,
Like
like no
it's
Bohemian Rhapsodies. Like let's
no, no, no. And
eliminate
I mean,
that
that's a
from.
great song, but like karaoke needs to be more bite size. You got to
Yes,
have,
yes.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
I
got people on
definitely
that
agree.
list, man. You got to get through the list.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Man.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm adding
I
Dolly
should,
Parton to
I
my.
mean, I'm now very curious. I feel like I have to throw that back at you. Do you have a karaoke song that is your jam?
Well, I mean, I do like a few Queen songs. Don't Stop Me
No.
Now
Oh,
is a
yeah,
good
yeah.
one. I really like Shoop by Salt and Peppa.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah,
Those
that's a
are
crowd pleaser.
probably my first two. And then I also really like I Believe in a Thing Called Love by the Darkness because you get some
Oh,
really
nice.
fun
Yeah,
high
yeah.
notes and a lot of like
Yes.
guitar solos. So it takes the pressure off of singing a little bit.
I
So you can
like
kind of
it.
just air guitar your way through the song and it's very fun.
Right. Give it the stank face and then
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
working.
Little hair metal action. Yeah, it's very good.
Love it.
We'll see. Yeah, I guess like somebody said, Xena Retreat karaoke. Maybe we're gonna have
Ooh,
to
I would
do a
totally
little
do
bit
that.
of heck yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like
Penny
that would
says,
involve cocktails, so that would be
oh
extra
yeah,
amusing. So, yeah.
absolutely. You got to have liquid courage prior to karaoke.
Yes,
It's
yes.
necessary. It's necessary. All right, last up here. What would you do if it was your last day on Earth? It's the big one.
Jeez, that's a
We're ending with
dramatic.
a bang.
Yeah, I gotta say, I wasn't prepared for that significant of a question. But I mean, I would do on my last day of Earth what I try to do on every day on Earth, which is enjoy every second, spend my time with those that I love the most, and focus on all the things that bring me joy. So great music, fantastic food, amazing
Oh yeah.
companionship with the very best of people. Um, I would cuddle the hell out of my dog, who, by the way, like,
Oh
hello, guest star.
yes, a
Yes,
guest star.
he is my jam, and we should congratulate him. He is 15 and a half now. So
Happy birthday.
yes, yes, exactly. We are at that stage where we're celebrating half birthdays.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yes, yes. No, he's amazing. I mean, it's his world. He just is kind enough to let me live in it. So,
King of the castle.
king of everything, for sure, for sure.
Oh, well, thank you so much for indulging the people who asked these questions and me and joining me. I feel like I can call you my friend now on the second interview. I think we've
Well, I mean, this has
admitted to
been
that.
pretty miserable for me. I mean, it's really the worst now. I've had the
Yeah.
best time. I always have the best time. I'm so grateful that you included me. I love any chance to get to connect with fellow Xenites. I would consider myself also a Xenite at this point. But also, of course, it makes my heart grow 3 sizes when people support my charity efforts. And it's now been 20 years that we've been doing these charity projects. And it's just extraordinary to me. The fact that the Xeniverse is still supporting the greater good is just wonderful. And I try so hard every year to make something that is exciting and fun and fulfilling and really represents the Xena community and is something that they want to be part of. So I hope everyone will check it out. Just as a refresher, we have 10 items this year, so we will have 10 winners in the charity raffle. There's only 150 tickets available. We are already 1/3 sold out. So jump in there for your chance to, again, be sandwiched between Lucy and
Oh, yeah.
Renee And for anybody that wants to spend time with me, I have made these, this is the only year they will be available, but I have made these 2-hour meet and greets with me that are all done via Zoom. So anybody anywhere can participate. It's super fun. It's just been, I can't even tell you how much fun they have been so far. So I think we have 26 of those left. So if anybody wants to join, I would love it. And all of the information is available at adriennewilkinson.com/charity events. And I hope you'll join.
Awesome. Yes, definitely jump in on that, guys. And thank you to everyone who joined and to everyone who submitted questions. Check out all of Adrienne's work. Check out her charity event. Buy those tickets. Get in there. Get yourself sandwiched between Lucy and Renee and hang out at Xena Retreat. See us in real person and in real life. Yeah, adriennewilkinson.com/charity events, or link in my bio, link in Adrienne's bio. It's all over the place. It's very easy to find. Limited tickets. Get your hands on some.
Yes, cool. I've got it on all my social media. So if you have trouble finding it, just keep digging. You'll find it on my Facebook or my Twitter or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
So
if you were able to join this live, you can figure out how to find that page.
Exactly. And I'll just say, you know, in advance, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has already participated in my previous events and those who have already joined this year. And thank you in advance for anyone who's considering joining, because it means the world to me. I try to provide something lovely, but it still shocks me every year that we have so many generous Xenites that are willing to get in on the action to, as I say, have a great time for a great cause. So I hope you'll join.
All right. Thank you, Adrienne. I will see you in a few weeks, I guess.
Yes, I cannot wait. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
Thank you. Mwah.
Mwah.